Dear Canuck fans, how does it feel entering a trade deadline as buyers? Buyers who are looking for the final piece of the puzzle to make a run at the Stanley Cup. It's been a long time coming since Mike Gillis acquired Chris Higgins and Max Lapierre in 2011. And the Vancouver market is gearing up for a busy trade deadline. Everyone is talking about what to do. But in this video, I want to discuss what the Canucks should not do, starting with moving a blue chip prospect. Acquiring a player of value requires parting with assets of value. When Jim Rutherford became president of the Vancouver Canucks, he inherited two things: a weak prospect pool and a salary cap nightmare. Through college free agency and excellent drafting, the Canucks have been able to replenish their prospect pool. The Canucks are contenders this season, but if they want to remain contenders 2, 3, 4 years down the road, they're going to need that prospect pool, contributing on entry-level contracts and bridge deals. So which prospects do I think will be impact players? Needle movers, not just depth guys. Guys that will not only support the core, but could become part of the core. I believe the Canucks have three such prospects: Jonathan Lapierre, Tom Willander, and Elias Pettersson II. Let's use a hypothetical trade for example. If Pittsburgh continues in their tailspin, Jake Guentzel will most likely hit the market. If Alvin picked up the phone and dialed Kyle Dubas, you can bet that Lapierre's name will come up in the conversation. Jake Guentzel absolutely can help the Canucks. He's a two-time 40 goal scorer. He would be the perfect solution on Pettersson's wing. But including Lapierre or any other blue chip prospect would be a short-sighted mistake. Earlier I mentioned the salary cap nightmare inherited by Rutherford. Well, next season things get trickier. Pettersson and Roenick are due for massive raises. Bluger, Lafferty, and Joshua are among a long list of UFAs. The Canucks are tight to the cap already, and OEL's buyout is going to balloon to $2.3 million. There is no way they would be able to afford Guentzel's next deal. He's a pure rental. Even if they were able to acquire a player with some term, the cap flexibility a young player like Lapierre provides is priceless. That flexibility can be used to plug holes all over your lineup, and the Canucks are going to have many on the back end this summer with Myers, Zadorov, and Cole all heading to free agency. At the end of the day, if you want to win the Stanley Cup, you need players on your roster vastly outperforming the value of their contracts. The Kings won their second cup with Pearson and Toffoli. The Hawks won with Brandon Saad, Andrew Shaw, and Nick Leddy. The Panthers made the finals paying for Hagee $4 million to score 40 goals. Therefore, the Canucks must think long-term and hold on to their blue chip prospects. I'm sure many of you would disagree, and I love healthy debate. So comment down below, would you include Lapierre in a Guentzel package? All this talk about contract efficiency takes me to my next point. Do not move Höglander for a rental. Contract efficiency doesn't apply only to your prospects. It also applies to young players on your roster who are still under restricted status. Nils Höglander is one such player, and it's no surprise whatsoever that opposing GMs always bring up his name in trade negotiations. The Rangers wanted him for Kravtsov, the Hurricanes wanted him for Bear, and it comes as no surprise that the Flames want him for Tanev. I love Tanev, and I hope the Canucks can find a way to bring him back, but Höglander must remain a Canuck. Höglander is on pace for a 20-goal season playing fourth-line minutes. He's a perfect utility player. If someone in the top 6 goes down, he has the capability of moving up the lineup and contributing points. His career trajectory is very promising, and I'm not saying he's going to be the next Martin St. Louis, but players his size take a while to develop the required tools to be successful as all-around players in the NHL. His underlying metrics are quite impressive. He ranks third amongst Canuck forwards in goals for percentage at 5-on-5, even though he falls in the middle of the pack in expected goals. Now, I am not saying the Canucks should not trade Höglander under any circumstances. At the end of the day, if Gretzky can be traded, anyone can be traded. What I am saying is that moving him for a rental piece is short-sighted. He has the capability of becoming a piece of the aforementioned core of this team. And if the Canucks decide to move him, it should be for a piece like Casey Mittelstadt, another player the Canucks can incorporate into the core moving forward. And that takes me to my final point. Do not let the Flames extort you. At the 2013 NHL Draft, Canuck fans and hockey fans in general were stunned when Mike Gillis moved Corey Schneider to the Devils for the 9th overall selection, which was then used to draft Bo Horvat. Perhaps nobody was as stunned as GM of the Edmonton Oilers Craig McTavish, who offered the Canucks the 7th pick and a second rounder. There's a tax that must be paid when you're acquiring a player of value from within your division. The Canucks had to throw a 5th into the pot when they acquired Nikita Zadorov, a player that openly wanted to leave Calgary. It should have cost them only a 3rd. The seemingly cheap acquisition price was a shock to Canuck fans, but don't expect the same if the Canucks were to target Lindholm or Tanev. There was uproar amongst Flames fans. They felt that Alvin had fleeced them and the rookie GM Craig Conroy was taken to the cleaners. So there's pressure in Calgary to get better value for outgoing pieces this deadline. Starting price for Lindholm is going to be a first and a solid prospect. If the Canucks were in a different division, a first in Podkolzin probably gets it done, but it's probably going to cost another pick and a higher quality prospect. Alvin shouldn't be surprised if he calls Conroy and the first words that come out of his mouth are Jonathan Lekkerimaki. And at that point, Alvin would be wise to hang up the phone. That concludes another video. Sorry, I took a bit of a break guys, but things are really ramping up this month as we're inching closer and closer to the playoffs. I am back on a regular post schedule, so smash that subscribe button for high quality and positive hockey content. Cheers till next time.